Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where everything has gotten extremely exciting within the last episode, which is quite amazing, considering this is a detective game. Edgeworth has been proven innocent of the Robert Hammond case, and now he confesses to murdering his father in DL-6. Oh boy, we're about to hash out a 15-year-old case that is going to close after today is out. Oh boy, good luck to us. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. You know, I'll be perfectly fair, I don't think I really examined everything that was DL-6. Yeah, I honestly didn't look at these, so let me actually do that. I don't remember looking at these, I really don't. Okay, so this is DL-6. We have a very unfortunate dead man. Very, very unfortunate. And why is it not clicking back? There we go. And we have this. Ah, boy. It is gonna be interesting. I think those are the only two things we have of DLC. Well, we have this, but I don't think Misty Faye is gonna be popping up anytime soon. All we have is the we only have 3 things from DL-6. That does not help at all. Oh, joy help us. We are screwed. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL-6 runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Oh, karma. You knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth. 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now you thought this memory was a dream. We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out and I lost memory of the events. Bah! The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Time to get this cleared up. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. What was the trial your father was involved in on that day? I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost, and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case. It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details. That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck. Dad, you are not Von Karma. How am I doing a half Von Karma, half judge? As we went to leave, oh my god. An elevator struck us, yes, and we all died from being impacted by an elevator. God, I gotta do this right. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. So, there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in the elevator. Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then as time passed and no one came to help, my father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. What did you do then? I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then I felt something heavy fall at my feet. What was it? A pistol. I assume it was the bailiff Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. And you picked it up. What happened next? Well, I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted him to stop fighting. Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting so thick, I panicked. So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was in a daze. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, and then a scream. The gun fired once. Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. To this day. Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. But I don't know what it means. I better find out and quick. Let me see. Give me a moment. One second, I need a drink. Okay, hopefully that's a bit better. Anyway, let me see here. Well, that makes sense. There was a single gunshot. We had the bullet that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Actually, I do have one thing with this. You heard one shot. But the picture of the scene of the crime specifically shows 2 shots. One, obviously, in the victim. Excuse me. And the second right there. That's 2 shots. That's 2 shots. There's no other way around it. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but, well, thank you, Edgeworth, I should say, because this is wrong. So, there was only 1 gunshot. Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, you don't. Take a look at this. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. And in it lies a clear contradiction to Mr. Edgeworth's testimony. Well, I can see the victim, Gregory Edgeworth, lying there. But what do you mean, a contradiction? Just as I thought, the judge is clueless, as always. 1 second, please. Why is this being... Oh, that's why! Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. Whatever. I just noticed that for some reason, this thing is not... What was the thing? Rename, remove, blah blah blah. Sorry, give me one hot moment. Okay, you know what? Screw it. That's fine. Okay, sorry about that. I was looking at something at my OBS. I was noticing something very odd. It's like, you notice how there's a white bar up here, and then down here there's no white bar? It's because for some reason, my OBS screen does not fit the whole screen in there, see? I don't know if you can see it moving, but there's like this little empty space. Thankfully, there's really nothing at the bottom to be, to be showing at any time, so thank God for that. But it's been bugging me this whole time. Every time I'm watching, it's like, why is the bottom cropped out so badly? But anyway, whatever. The contradiction is here. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I did not mean that. Hello? There we go. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Miles Edgeworth testifies that there was only one gunshot. However, according to this photograph, not one but two shots were fired. One shot hit the victim, and the other hit the elevator door. I ask you then, why did Miles Edgeworth only hear one gunshot? This photograph does seem to confirm a second shot. However, when was this hole in the elevator made? It might have been there before the incident occurred. If it was there before, it has nothing to do with this incident. Mr. Wright, do you have proof that this bullet hole was caused at the time of the incident? No, but I do have proof of one thing, that I need to get another drink. I'll be right back, I'm sorry. Okay, let's try this again. I don't know why my voice is just dying today. Anyway. No I don't, unfortunately. I didn't think of that. I don't have proof. Ha! As I suspected. Given that all that's happened 15 years ago, it's doubtful any proof remains. Nick, take a look at this. The court record. Look, doesn't this make you think... Whoa, she's right. That is strange. Your Honor, I think we will be able to show you proof. What? What? Impossible! I don't remember. Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. What do you have that proves the bullet hole in the door was related to this incident? Ew. No, that's not it. That's the current case. I don't know. I really don't know. Is it this? I don't God, give me a moment. It must be this, but I don't remember what it says. Process of elimination, it has to be this, but I don't remember what it says. Your Honor, the answer is in this file. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you tell us what page it's on. Now, which page shows the link between this bullet hole and DL-6? I'm thinking it's the victim data. I'm just trying desperately to remember. And I don't remember, but it has to be victim data. Look at the victim data in this file. It says quite plainly, the murder- Oh. This is what happens when I speed read through the file and don't pay attention. I sped read through it yesterday and I completely glossed that over. The murder weapon was fired twice. Oops. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot. Yet the murder weapon was fired twice. Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL-6 case file. Closely. Try on the case summary page. Case summary? That's on page 1. Look at what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired twice, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Order! I will have order! Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I'll praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick! You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent! I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now? I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick! Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing on Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention? Yes, I did. Oh no. He's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today right here. Right now! Indeed. Does anyone have any objections while I take a drink of water? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There's so many things I know I should be saying. But my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. Mr. Wright. The only thing that could be our argument is that there are 2 bullets fired that day. The problem is I don't have any evidence. Courtesy of Mr. Von Karma taking it out of the records room. All I have is 2 pieces of evidence, and that does not help. I don't know. There has to be something that I can do. Your Honor, I object. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object, Nick? I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it. It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet, it exists. What? Oh, we just heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. Oh God, I'm really grasping here. It's just, someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? Well, the murderer, of course. The murderer? Oh, then pray tell, who is this murderer? I'm still working on that one. So the criminal took the second bullet. But why? Huh? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? I don't know. Technically the murderer didn't need it, but the fact that it's not at the scene of the crime means he took it. So for some unknowable reason, he had to find it. Well, of course there was a need. That's why they took it. Bah! What possible reason could they have had? Well... the reason the murderer took this bullet away from the scene with them is... the bullet could be proof? Question mark? The murderer could also be cautious. They're both possible. Well, I suppose if you think about it, it's bad enough that there's already one bullet at the scene of the crime. To leave two would be kind of troublesome. The bullet will be proof? I don't know. Maybe they thought that the bullet would be used as proof? Proof? It was a special bullet, so they took it with them. If that was the case, then they should have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well. Huh? Why would they have only taken one of the two shots fired? Oh, right. Mr. Wright, have you really thought this through? I'm going to have to penalize you, goddammit. Oh, this isn't going so well. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? We're back to square one. Okay, ooh, I am not thinking this through at all. Maybe I'm wrong. Technically the killer doesn't need the bullet, technically? I don't know. I truly don't know. Oh god. Why would a murderer have spent the time to look for that stray bullet? I don't know. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Bah, the murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. Had to take it? The murderer? What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken, and why you're trying to give me an epileptic episode with all these flashings. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Me too. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, true, but the murderer still had to take it. Had to, Mr. Wright. What do you mean? Well, for instance... For instance, what? Maybe the bullet hit the murderer? The bullet hit the murderer? Well, I'm just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, right? It's not like you could just perform surgery right there on yourself. You know? Wait a second. Now, I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's what really happened? Now, let me get this straight, Mr. Wright. At the time of the murder, the murderer themselves was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside them, thus leaving only one at the scene of the crime. Yes, I guess that's how it would work, Your Honor. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would suggest the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet... It goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness, and the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I can't deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying, Your Honor? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. God, he's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. Oh my god, are you serious? What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean... it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL-6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright. You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Oh dear, should I come out and say it now? Question mark there. If we come out and say it, what proof do we have? All we have is, you took a vacation for several months, so you're the murderer. Wow, such great evidence. Oh no. Well, Phoenix has been doing so good just sprouting whatever comes out of his butt this whole time. Might as well do it. Why not? Why stop now? Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? My hands are shaking. What? Von Karma. Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma, the prosecutor, the one standing right over there? Bah! You don't object. I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident, yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why then would you take such a long vacation without any reason? Ha! So you're saying I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Now prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who the doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma. Perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. No one's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That'd be insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just go pulling bullets out of yourself. Wait. What does that mean, then? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where? Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence that I was shot? That bullet has to be somewhere. It was never found at the scene of the crime, so that means he would have taken it. If he didn't go to a doctor, there is only one thing that's possible. Alright, Von Karma. I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is this. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. Oh, you don't mean... I do, Your Honor. There's the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. It's not even possible for all these years. Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm gonna run this all over you and we'll see what we find. I refuse! You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge the bullet is still inside you. Order! Order! Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something's in his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma? You. It was you. I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL-6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to this case. But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything, Your Honor. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Mr. Wright. Well, can you prove it? Can you prove the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL-6? Of course he can't! You don't have any of the DL-6 evidence! That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday! With no proof, you can't convict me of any crime! So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close. One day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you dug your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL-6 incident. And here is my final proof. The evidence that you did not notice you dropped. We now have 2 bullets. Ballistic markings. Take it out of his shoulder and check it with this bullet. If they're the same, you were there. That's a bullet. Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL-6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining them, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. So now we have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the one buried in your shoulder. We can analyze both of them, and if the markings match, we will know that both bullets have been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this one. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? And I think this is gonna be a scream. Yeah, it's a scream. I'm not screaming. I'm already doing loud enough with his angry voice. Oh, this gives me a time to have a quick drink. That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet. I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you! Stop breathing my air! Get away! Get away from my father! Scream. It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. It's a very traumatic thing. It's actually proven. When people undergo some very traumatic stuff, they can remember certain things quite clearly. This was traumatic for Edgeworth, so he remembers that scream. Mr. Von Karma. Edgeworth! Only you will dare to find me! So, it was you. You and your father are my curse! Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record! And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade! I'll batter you! I'll batter you with my bare hands! Death! Death! Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth!
It was a shock like none I'd ever known. Me, penalized. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain. A horrible, burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then. It was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. And who would have thought that another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge!
What?
What are you doing? Do your job! Bring an end to this miserable charade! Now! End it!
Very well. It appears that we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later. Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. Oh, that took a little while. That is all. This court is adjourned. Whew, that's a long drive. Man, in-game time from 10 a.m. to 5:30. That's 7 hours. That's a whole work day in the courtroom. Oh my goodness. Get paid overtime. Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He pretended to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. So, it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry, it's just that I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. And she's got you there. Whoop! I'm not doing that. Amazing, pal! You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down just a tiny bit this month, but who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth? You should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Edgeworth doing a whoop. Okay, I cannot imagine that. I feel foolish. Oh, don't worry. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all! Lotta! Y'all great in there. Thanks. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Oh, who, me? Oh, I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? Well, that's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? It's over, Nick. My life is over. Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Beyonce. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that one coming. Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? Well, that's unusual for you. Harry Potts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah, what's up? That envelope that Larry gave me. It's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh. A weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but not a lot either. Wait. $38 exactly? Nick! Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Edgeworth in school? $38. No. No! Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, Wright? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came to school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Edgeworth. You didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right. You may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, Wright. I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, huh? Edgeworth. You should have told me! Now, Nick, that was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you have always been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. Death! The death sentence to both of you! Man, if only I'd known I'd have become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch, right? Hey, y'all! Line up, I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time! Let's go! And after that, dinner's on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. Yeah, that's standard procedure. Still have to go through all that crap first. Went a little overboard yesterday. Ugh, my head hurts. It's only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. Huh? What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So, I decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium, for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? The first trains for the mountains have already left. Okay, to the station I go. Guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick! Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And, well, I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait. What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Of course. When you jumped in front of Von Karma, in the evidence room, you took this from him. A bullet. Von Karma was convinced he had taken all of the evidence pertaining to DL-6 that day. But you were the one who rescued the last piece we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay. I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that, Maya. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. It's time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins, with the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim. Yes, Your Honor. I got a bad feeling about this. And that calls an end to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I mean, it really was a blast to do all this, and oh, I forgot, voice casts. Hi, pal. Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about pleasant surprise. Whoop, Detective Gumshoe, oh boy. Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Not too strange, Edgeworth. But yeah, it really was a whole lot of fun doing this. Doing all these voices is nuts and all that, and I killed my voice a few times, but all in good fun, you know? It really was. Huh? Nick? Nah, I haven't seen him lately. Me? No, I've been working at a cheese shop. That and Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Huh? Oh, she's in Hawaii right now, yeah. Oh my god, Larry. And another girlfriend for him that's probably gonna go bad. But yes, the reason why I decided to do this project is because I saw it on Steam and it's like, let me try this again, you know? Who? Right. Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful. He's not grateful. Yeah, it's like, it has been, I think I said like 12, 13 years since I played this game, and I just had to buy it again. I had to relive my childhood. Phoenix Wright. Aha, the defense attorney for whom I wrote that affidavit for, yes. Oh, you should know, I've taken over management of the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. And it was great to relive my teenagehood, if you will, because this is what I grew up on. And I'll admit, I actually forgot a lot of things. Oh, it's you, Phoenix Wright. Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. The days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. And, I'm actually surprised how much I forgot. And yeah, at the same time, to concentrate on what's happening and doing all the talking, it is actually a bit harder, oh god. Phoenix Wright, is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. Do you know that they're finally putting some auto hams or DVD and images, and now that I know what DVD uses 3 letter words every day? I don't. I give up on her. I did not even get a single thing out of that one. Ugh. I'm pleased to announce the Pink Princess was a hit. I'm sure that Mr. Wright a great deal. Oh, and I keep my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know. Yeah, and just enjoy this childhood of mine, and yes, there are 2 more games on this, but I think I'm going to take a small break, because that was a lot of talking, and I'm kind of dead. Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit, but I didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. I wonder what kind of place she's living at anyway. And yeah, someday I will do the number 2 and then number 3, but maybe not in the near future. Right? Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess, alright? But you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess suit. Ugh, what a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy my tender age. Oh my god, what did you see? Oh dear, what did Cody see? That kinda sounds scary. But yeah, yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy? Well, me? Well, I've been trained to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them there was a ghost. For real. Now let's tell it. I'm gonna be famous. There she goes with her famous. But yes, at the time that I'm recording this episode, it's been 2 days since the game Days Gone has come out. Maybe in the next 3 or so days, at the time I've recorded this. Oh yeah, she's right there. At the time this recorded, I might do a quick 1-hour review of it or something, and like, just show how the game is, and my honest to god first impressions and all that. Which I actually think I will do right after this, so... And, you know what? I psyched you out with that. I honestly did. I knew there was a 5th case. And I'm giving you my goodbye spiel already and all that? Well, psych. No. We are so not done yet, folks. We got one more case. One last case. Rise from the ashes. But you know what? We are going to do that some other time. Yeah, let's just say. Okay. And, I will go ahead and say goodbye to you guys. But for real, I am going to do a, at the time of this recording, within the, like, next 3 or 4 days, I'm going to do a quick, like, maybe 1-hour playthrough of, Days Gone, and give you my honest to god first impressions of how it is. I never played it before, I only saw trailers, so I'm very excited for it. So watch out for that. Why am I saying watch out for it? By the time this comes out, that has already came out, so screw that. But yeah, enjoy the Days Gone, for real. So yeah, I will see you guys on to the next episode. Episode 5. Rise from the Ashes. Later, people.